I'm here with Anthony Traina, longtime runner and one-time marathon completer, and we're going to talk a little bit to Anthony about his marathon experience. Before that, Anthony, why don't I ask you just a little bit about your running background? How'd you get started running?
Well, I started running in Miami in middle school. My first competitive experience, I joined the cross-country team under Coach Kappelman, our old mentor, and instantly fell in love. I had success pretty early on, and it was a driving force in my young life, so I decided just to keep going with it. And for the next 7 years, I was a competitive runner. Once I kind of finished up high school, I backed off, but I had the chance to compete in the marathon. And since then, I've taken myself out of all competitions, but just have enjoyed running almost every day.
And so you competed in one marathon, the 2005 Miami Marathon.
Yeah.
We're actually at the scene, just removed from the actual path of the marathon, which runs along Brickell Road here in downtown Miami.
Yeah, it gives me jitters just being here.
Why don't you tell me just a little bit about that marathon experience?
Sure, it was a lot different than other races. Other races seem to be short enough, you know, unless you're doing an ultra, but short enough to get really nervous about. But you know, in the marathon, it's so long, it's almost silly to be nervous. It's all about pacing yourself. So leading up to it, I was a bit, you know, a bit excited, but not nervous. I had my family and friends around the night before, so we had a good chance to talk. And it was an early marathon, I remember. We got up at 6. This race started at 6, so I got up at like 4:30. We started right in front of the Airlines Arena right here, and it was really exciting. I was up in the front lines, maybe the 4th row, so I was behind the really competitive runners. I got a chance to see them sprint away.
And then I remember you told me you had a kind of a difficult experience sometime into the race. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I had a great experience through about half a marathon. Right around there, I started to feel the effects of, you know, an hour and a half of running at that point. And as we closed in on mile 20, I remember in my mind, all I was thinking about was getting to my family and friends. Sid was there at mile 20, my dad was really excited for mile 20. It was all about mile 20. So as I'm approaching mile 20, I'm like, wow, I'm really tired. And mentally, once I crossed mile 20, it was almost like my self-induced finish line, because I'd been so excited for it for the whole race, for 2.5 hours or whatever it took to get there. So I very much hit a mental block, a physical block at mile 20, and it was a really tough finish. People talk about the wall a lot. I ran into the Great Wall of China practically.
And tell me what it was like actually finally crossing the finish line.
It was really emotional, actually. Looking back, you know, I'm trying to recall exactly how I felt. It's hard to remember exactly, but it was a blur, man. I crossed the line. I remember seeing my family. My mom was there at the line. I was really excited to be done. I actually was so emotional that I remember a few tears came out, and I was like, what's going on right now? I wasn't prepared for that, but it was such a physical drain that I think it's hard not to have the emotions tied to it. So, very emotional experience, very physical draining. It was a great achievement, so I'm really, really happy I had done that. So maybe I'll do one in the future. But
Anthony, why don't you tell me a little bit about your thoughts of the marathon as an event total? The distance, is it too much? Do you think it's a good test of physical ability?
That's an interesting question. It obviously has historical significance. So it seems like that's the main driver for such an awkward distance, 26.2. It's kind of a strange number. It could be around 20 or 25 or something, but I think that it's an interesting distance because it seems to be just long enough to get people to pass that threshold of hitting their wall. So it's, you know, it's a little long, I believe, for humans to really run it comfortably, like the half marathon or maybe even a 25K. But it's a great test, it really is, because it's that extra couple miles. It challenges people and it makes it that much more of an accomplishment. So it is a special distance. I would say it's almost unhealthy to run that far, but you know, people have survived obviously and really make a career out of it, in fact. So it's a pretty spectacular thing, and you know, I enjoy it even though it's so painful. It's great. It's a great sense of accomplishment.